to be back with you once again on this other edition of the India Development Debate. And yes, we are talking about the fact that all seems to be well in Maharashtra, at least for the two old allies. After months of tension between the Sena and the BJP, the Hindu Hriday Samrats of the West have announced their seat sharing for the upcoming Lok Sabha and the Vidhan Sabha polls for the end of 2019. Chief Minister Fadnavis, along with BJP party President Amit Shah and Sena Supremo Uddhav Thackeray, said BJP will contest 25 seats and Sena will contest 23. What about the Congress and the NCP? What are they up to? There is some sort of an internal strife going on within the Congress. How is that going to impact? Remember, Maharashtra sends 48 seats to the Lok Sabha, and these were warring allies. So what has made them bury their hatchet? Many questions, and we'll find answers to all of those with our three panelists right here. Shaina NC joins us from the BJP. Sanjay Jha continues from the Congress party, and Neerja Chaudhary, a political commentator and columnist, also sticks by with us. Thank you very much, all of you, for being with us. Shaina, if I may start with you, after the political mudslinging and name-calling and posturing and Samna editorials and all of that, the BJP and the Sena seems to have buried the hatchet. It's almost like the script played out. You're back with your oldest partner. The question, though, out of no choice, are you choosing to live together unhappily ever after?
Well, let me laugh that off, because I think that Supriya ji, you know that in every family you can have a certain sense of bickering, and that does not mean necessarily that there is a certain kind of marital discord. You wake up the next morning and you make up. So 25 years of being together is obviously something that we take a lot of pride in, and the fact that there is a common ideology, an ideology which believes that yes, there should be a temple which is built in the space of the Ram Janmabhoomi, and of course the common ideology that the people of Maharashtra must benefit through various schemes, whether it is farmers, whether it is the common citizens or the land of the sons of the soil. All these are agendas. Do understand that Prime Minister Modi and our Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis have done an exemplary job in the state, and we continue to plan to work for the people of Maharashtra. You've had previous governments that have looted the state, and we choose to do just the opposite.
Okay. I will not let you take a rough shot at Sanjay Jha without getting him in. But before I go across to Sanjay, I have a question for Neerja. And Neerja, who stands to gain here? Even though the BJP has gained after BMC polls, and you know, the question is, could it afford to dump its oldest ally at all? Was it crucial for the Sena that risked a vote transfer to the BJP and be wiped out of Bombay? Who stands to gain from this alliance, and why is it that they were such warring, and like Shaina herself admits, marital discord existed in that marriage, but they seem to have to want to kiss and make up? Who stands to gain out of here?
I think both Sena and BJP stand to gain, and it was a given that they will come together in the penultimate round. Sena, had it fought the election on its own, would have been reduced to not even maybe half a dozen seats, and therefore it was not a risk it would have taken. So also BJP, I believe the BJP president had let it be known to his people in Maharashtra that I want this alliance at any cost, and they have swung it. Now it's very interesting, the old formula used to be 26 for 22 for Sena and 26 for BJP. BJP has given one more seat to the Sena this time. The Sena was insisting on the seat of Palghar, which it had lost in a by-election. So they had made this into a prestige issue, and they had their way. Just as the Janata Dal U had its way in getting 17 seats, whopping seats, when last time it had won 2. So for the BJP, alliances are very important this time round, and is bending over backwards to win over the allies. And this is despite the fact that Uddhav Thackeray borrowed the words of Rahul Gandhi, Chaukidar Chor hai, and yet continued inside government. But you know, I've been to Maharashtra several times of late, and I found that ordinary people were not taking very kindly to this, that you give all these galis to your ally and yet you continue to be in government. And I think somewhere that would have also played a role with Sena changing its mind. Now, whether after the polls what Sena will do, it can always de-link, we don't know. But as Shiner says, it's been the oldest ally of the BJP. And Mr. Fadnavis, you said who gained? Mr. Fadnavis gains the most because he's managed to swing the alliance without having to resort or to agree to simultaneous polls for the assembly, which will be held few months down the line, and for the Lok Sabha, which at one point Shiv Sena was really insisting on.
Right. No, you make a point there, and I will go back to Shaina and see in just a bit on this very important point about why fight so much when you're going to end up back together. But to the Congress, I have a question, and Sanjay Jha, I think all of us woke up to this news about this disarray within the party. You're an important person in the scheme of things in Mumbai, in Maharashtra. Priya Dutt and Milind Deora, says he will not contest if Sanjay Nirupam, there is public spat that's happening. Ashok Chavan's name not in the candidate list sent to the High Command. Supriya Shrinate, of course, has lost his sheen. You've got Mukul Vasnik, more engaged in Delhi than in the States. Apart from the antics of Sanjay Nirupam, there really doesn't seem to be good news coming for the Congress, at least as far as alliances, candidature, tickets, and all of that are concerned. What are you hinging your hopes to bounce back on?
Supriya, let me tell you, I think the people of Maharashtra, in Mumbai and the rest of Maharashtra, are fed up of an incompetent, ineffective, inefficient government that has got so many corruption allegations. Maharashtra has actually regressed over the last 5 years. There is going to be a very strong anti-incumbency, and I'll give you an example of that. Just think about it. I have read in the reports that the BJP and Shiv Sena have decided to share seats 50-50 in the assembly elections. Now look at the BJP, what it has been reduced to. It's a huge public humiliation for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Uddhav Thackeray went on record to say that Mr. Rahul Gandhi's allegation against Narendra Modi on the massive Rafale scam, calling him Chaukidar Chor hai, was absolutely on target. Now think about it, the BJP has 122 members in the assembly, but they're going to fight only 140 odd seats. Now that is a massive come down. So their hit rate, last time they I think contested 280, they got 122. This time they're going to fight only 140. Now it really is a manifestation of the massive insecurity within the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now the problem for both these parties, Supriya, is they're both Hindutva right-wing parties. They basically campaign for the same constituency. They have the same issues with Ram Temple, etc. They are basically into competitive Hindutva politics. I think Nirja will probably confirm that. Now the problem for them is that, end of day, I can tell you this with extreme confidence, it is in speculation in Mumbai. They will both try and undercut each other to make sure that the other is dwarfed and become a pygmy by the end of the elections. And I think the Congress and the NCP has a clear tailwind. As far as the BJP is concerned, as it happened even in Bihar, if you look at it, they had 22 seats in Bihar, but they have, in their alliance, they are fighting only 17. So they have virtually given away 5 seats that they held in the Lok Sabha. So this is basically a wake-up call to the BJP, highly arrogant and, soaked in hubris after the knockout blows in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. The writing is on the wall. I think they are clearly seeing a defeat around the corner. And I think, these are, as far as we are concerned, we are calling it a hashtag Golmaal returns.
Sanjay,
we are hashtagging the return of the BJP and Shiv Sena as Golmaal returns.
Sanjay, they've always been together. No, they've been together for a while.
At least they've accepted that we have returned.
And counter that. I can see your finger go up.
Supriya ji.
No, I will get you in to counter that. But I also have one question. Please go ahead and counter Sanjay Jha. But I also have one question. And that question is, who is the senior ally today? And have you paid a price for being aloof in the last 5 years that you are now having to give in to hard bargains by your allies? Whether it was Nitish Kumar in Bihar or the Sena in Maharashtra, they are getting a larger pound of the flesh, and there can be no denying that.
Okay, so here's my answer. First, at least Sanjay Jha, who is a friend, has accepted that we are returning. whatever caption he wants to give it for his hashtag is their choice, but the fact is we are returning. Second, we fought 26 seats last time, the Shiv Sena fought 22. Now, one seat up or down, which shows magnanimity, is not something that the Congress NCP need to worry about, because we still are the big brother. We know that the fact that the vote share and the mandate for Prime Minister Modi in both the Lok Sabha and the Assembly elections have been astounding. Cut to 2014 to 2019, you have had the phenomenal performance of Devendra Fadnavis as the Chief Minister of the state, taking on strong decisions, mobilizing cadre and ensuring victory at municipal corporations, Jilla Parishads, Gram Panchayats, where BJP really had no foothold. The irony of this whole situation is when you ask a question as to is it going to be an alliance? Well, it is not just an alliance that has a synergy and ideology. It is not for the lust of power only, which you've seen with the Congress NCP that have looted the state time and again and propose to come back only to fight Prime Minister Modi. So I just want to say that the reality is that the people of the state want good governance, want strong leadership, want stability, and the BJP Shiv Sena are here just to offer that. And I'm so glad that Mr. Jha has wished us a congratulations right now itself on your show, saying that we are here to come back.
No, 1 second. Shaina, okay. Sanjay Jha completely disagrees with you. He did not mean your return to power. He meant return together as allies. But give me a minute. Sanjay, I'll come to you. Neerja Chaudhary, the question is, Mr. Fadnavis was rather candid in the press conference and he admitted that there are issues. He admitted there were problems, but they have decided to stick it together. What do you believe are those issues between the two allies, and what is the guarantee that they will not come to fore, they won't erupt again?
I think the biggest issue will be, you see, what the Sena has been smarting against is to be reduced to being a junior partner. And Shaina just now said that. We are the big brother, we are the senior partner. And Sena has all along been the senior partner in Maharashtra as far as the state government goes and state assembly goes. And now, what they have been saying, they'll be given equal number of seats from all accounts. And what they also wanted is to have a Sena person become the chief minister if the combine comes to power. Now, again, one is hearing this, that the formula may be that it could be a rotational chief minister for 2.5 years each, which, you know, the kind of tussle that this shows, that Sena is not prepared to be the junior partner as far as the state assembly elections are concerned. And that was the reason why it was demanding simultaneous election, because if it said that if we give more seats to the BJP in the Lok Sabha election, we don't trust the BJP that it will even honor its words when the assembly elections are held a few months down the line. But if they've agreed not to have the simultaneous assembly election, then they want something in return. And that could be the formula that they have arrived at, rotational chief ministership for both the parties for half the term. But it's a very, you know, this rotational chief ministership has not worked in other states, as we know in Uttar Pradesh.
Yeah, it doesn't. And especially after 2.5 years, it's very difficult for people to give up. It didn't work in Bihar, it's not worked in Uttar Pradesh. But Sanjay, you know, Maharashtra has 45% urban population, club that with just around 11% Muslim population. Many people believe that the Sena and the BJP is the right concoction for the alliance to be successful. What are some of the issues that you're banking on? I know Maharashtra agitation is going to be one of them, and that's a question that I will have for Shaina next. But what are some of the issues, and what's your leadership in Maharashtra like? Who are your leaders? Who are your senior people? Because NCP and Congress, like you say, will give you a tailwind. But who are the pilots of this alliance, really?
Supriya, before I answer your question, I must respond to Shaina's attempt to play around with sound bites. I congratulate her in advance for hopefully doing a good job in the opposition. And Golmaal returns means the return of the crooks who are, you know, basically pretty much, you know, friends with benefits. I don't know about the marriage analogy, but they're definitely friends with benefits. But, you know, as far as Maharashtra is concerned, Supriya, I completely agree with you. This is probably the most important state in India after Uttar Pradesh, not just because it has 48 seats, but because end of day, it is the commercial capital of India. It's also the liberal cosmopolitan elite that lives in Mumbai, and in a great number of ways is an intellectual capital. Plus, of course, you have the Bollywood. So I think if you look at Maharashtra, it captures both an aspirational India as well as an India which still has to catch up with the larger India growth story. But, you know, the issues that are going to dominate this election, Supriya, are going to be rural distress. Rural distress is a big, big issue. The farmers who have been misled and betrayed by Devendra Fadnavis are once again going to stage an agitation. I think it's starting within a week to 10 days. Number two, look at Mumbai today. I can tell you the rampant urban unemployment, the collapse of the infrastructure, these are what issues people are talking about. The corruption in the BMC is legendary. You can write textbooks and thrillers on the way they have destroyed Mumbai. You know, Supriya, you're in Delhi and we live here in Mumbai. Look at where Delhi and Bombay were 20 years ago. Sheila Dikshit, as the chief minister of Delhi, took Delhi to another level, and Mumbai has now become like a, you know, like a large urban concrete structure in virtual decadence. And I think the credit for that will have to go to the BMC, and I congratulate Sena and Uddhav Thackeray for having actually taken the country for a ride with such brazen arrogance that I think they will be taught a lesson in the coming elections. And I do believe, that Hindutva, you know, Hindutva's agenda has run its course. And I don't think that has got any steam anymore.
Okay, give me a minute. I will go across to Sena because she seems to be enjoying this discussion. And Sena, what will the big issues of elections be, and how will the Maratha agitation play out in the coming polls? Fadnavis announced reservations for them, which is unlikely to stand court scrutiny. Will this become an issue now, given Sena is backing the BJP? I mean, what are some of the issues that you believe you'll have to grapple with? It just can't be development in Mumbai and, you know, what your people and like Mr. Fadnavis said. There are ground realities, whether it's agri irritation, the Maharashtra agitation, the reservation issues. Some of these issues will haunt you, will they not?
So firstly, Supriya ji, let's highlight what we've done. Whether it is the farmer, Jalyuk Shivar has given irrigation irrespective of climatic patterns to 19,000 villages. Rural electrification, Ujjwala that has reached homes of various corners of rural Maharashtra. The fact that you have infrastructure projects at a peak. You had big monumental announcements during the Congress NCP where they did not even deliver, whether it was a metro or a coastal road, all of which the Mumbaikar sees the speed at which we're working. So I don't understand what this great hue and cry is to suggest that, you know, oh, we have a reason to come back to power. You have absolutely none, because you have not encapsulated a vision plan or even delivered on promises of 15 years, which we have done in record time. So I want to say that every time people talk about, oh, this alliance between Shiv Sena and BJP, at least there is a common agenda. It is not for the lust of power and making crores of money for your ministers who end up landing up in jail on corruption charges. The corruption that we saw during the NCP Congress was something that actually was discussed all across the country as an example of blatant misuse of power. So what are we talking about? And Nirja ji is right, we are the big brother. Why shouldn't we accept that the BJP had got 123 MLAs when we came into power? The other parties did not compete with us in their vote share or in their vision plan. And in the days to come, if we've shown magnanimity and agreed to a seat sharing formula which is out in the open, I don't see why anybody else should have some anxiety. The reality is that the voter across the board
I will quickly take a word to Nirja Chaudhary and then I will have to wrap up this show. But Nirja Chaudhary, I will have to ask you the question that Mr. Fadnavis said in the press conference. He spoke and he said, and he seems to be the anchor of this alliance, even Sena has said. So he said today that on Ram Mandir, the views of both the BJP and the Sena are the same as they are on many other issues. Are we seeing the early 90s vitriolic politics return and take center stage in Maharashtra, the bashing of minority appeasement, Hindutva support, whipping anti-Pakistan sentiments. And given the narrative right now, are we seeing a return of that, a possible return of that with this alliance coming back together?
I think yes, certainly they have. The Shiv Sena has talked very stridently about building the mandir. When you remember, when the Prime Minister said this, that it will be after the court's view on it, verdict on it, that they will take a call. Sena was the one that said, we will take this up, very frontally. And so they have, and with Mr. Fadnavis also now endorsing that view, Mandir, yes, will be part of the campaign discourse. But I agree with Sanjay Jha. Actually, it is rural distress. The large parts of Maharashtra reeling under drought. And about 3 weeks or a month ago, if you remember, Times of India of Mumbai had a front page photograph in Beed where you had a well and insects crawling, it was greenish water, insects crawling, and the villagers had to draw out this water. Then they had to strain this greenish water and boil it to be able to drink. So that is a kind of crisis that Maharashtra has had to deal with in terms of Kisan problems. But given the alliances, NCP Congress on this side, Shiv Sena BJP on the other side, it's definitely going to be a kaate ki takkar in Maharashtra.
All right, a kaate ki takkar, and remember why this is going to be important, because Maharashtra is the state that sends the second. Okay, go ahead very quickly, Shaina, because you've stitched the alliance. It's only fair I give you the last word. Go ahead, Shaina.
Just very quickly, Nirja ji, we were the first state to announce 36,000 crores in terms of relief to farmers, do away with the middlemen, and of course the various schemes that we have ensured that the farmers benefit, whether it's pension schemes, insurance schemes, solar pumps, is all for us to realize through this. If you want to treat it as a referendum, this election will actually be a referendum on what the farmers are thinking as well.
Fair point indeed. On that note, I'll have to call it a show here.
You are entitled to live in a fool's
Maharashtra
paradise.
sends to Lok Sabha. It's the second. All right, it's the second highest after Uttar Pradesh, and which is why this alliance matters. The Congress and the NCP perhaps will leverage the anti-incumbency, the tailwind, as Sanjay Jha says. But let's see how it goes from here on. Nirja Chaudhary, who follows Maharashtra very closely, says this will indeed be kaate ki takkar. Thank you very much for being with us on this edition of the India Development Debate. We take a quick breather. Up next is Top 10 at 10.